Hello, hello. Happy New Year. Happy 2024. Can you believe it? We're already here. I'm sitting here in my favorite spot. I have actually been out of my routine for the last few weeks, and so I have eagerly anticipated my donut day. And yesterday could not be my donut day, and I'll explain that a little bit later. Oh, those donuts are so good. You might think I'm addicted. I'm not. I'm not really addicted. I just love them. And I just consumed 2 of them. And I'm trying to do a one take wonder here vlog. I want to go back to vlogging. I don't want to do not want to do it as much as I've done it from the campaign, the Let's Talk series. That was fun, and I wanted to keep you up to date on our campaign. But I just want to get to know you guys. Well, I guess I'm not really going to get to know you. I have gotten to know some of you because I've connected with a lot of people. I'll even mention that later on. But you'll get to know me, I guess. So for what it's worth, I thought I would put out another vlog and try and do this maybe every other month and just give you an update on my life and an update on what we're doing with FBS. I'm trying not to feel constrained with time, although it takes a long time to upload these videos if it gets any too long. But you know what? I'm just not going to care about that right now. I feel like those who watch these vlogs are the few, the proud, and they just, I guess, take a keen interest in our ministry and in, I guess, my family's life. And so this is for you. Do you know there's a cool feature on YouTube? I kind of discovered this somewhat semi-recently, I guess. You can actually listen to me talking like 150 times, 150% as fast. I don't know if that's correct percentage-wise, but you can actually speed up and listen to me talk a mile a minute. Blah, 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 blah. But that might help if this gets any too long. I'm going to sandwich my campaign update in the middle of this vlog, so hang on. There's a strategy to that. But I am super excited to share with you kind of a final tally and what the Lord has done and what the Lord has taught me. But first, a life update. My kids are home from college. My 2 oldest are home from college, and I don't know about you. It's been very good, and God's been good, because I don't know about you, but I get settled into a routine, and I don't like that to be shaken up. And I'm so I was a little somewhat nervous of just routines getting all shaken up with the holidays upon us. But it's been so good. It's been fun to listen to my son play the piano. That kid can play and play and play. I think he said one day he played for like 3 hours straight. I don't even think I could. Well, I could write a song for 3 hours straight. Yes, I could be doing that, but just to play, I don't think so. But he can do that, and he's actually very talented. So it's been fun to hear our home filled with his music again. Actually, he's playing some FBS piano pieces. That's especially fun. And so good for him. I'm rooting for him. It's been fun to watch my daughter take my youngest to the fitness center. Can you believe it? The shops don't usually darken the doors of fitness centers. We used to. There was a couple years ago, my husband and I went fairly regularly in the winter, and that was fun. But she and my son actually both have a membership, and so they've been filling their time with good things like that. And she took my youngest to the fitness center. That was kind of fun to hear about. My oldest, so number 1 and number 3 now work at Culvers. And unfortunately, our percentage that they give us does not double when you have 2 that work there. That's okay. We love going there every Sunday, almost every Sunday that we don't have a fellowship meal from our church, at our church. But so many of our church people meet at Culvers too, so it's practically our church's dining room. It's great. It's great fun. And my two of my children now work there currently, and I can say now 3 of the 4 of my children have worked there. The youngest is too young, unfortunately, but he can't wait to be old enough to work, and to most likely work there, I would assume. It's been fun to have all 4 of my kids in church. I took a picture the other day of all 4 of them lined up in the same pew. That was fun. And we've had very enjoyable family devotions. I don't know about you. I am so thankful that my husband initiates this. If you are a father and you are listening to this, it is so valuable to carve out some time to have family devotions. And it is not anything spectacular. If you think you need to have this big plan, you don't. You don't. All we do, and all we've been doing recently, is going through the book of James. We read one chapter, and everybody picks one thought that stood out to them, They give they tell it and maybe why it's that it stood out to them, and then they pray that those thoughts back to God. And so it's super simple, but it's so much fun, so fulfilling to hear what God is doing in my kids' life. And it's just been, well, then sometimes after we finish family devotions, like last night, we stay and just chat and have a good old time. So that's been especially fun. Yesterday, my hubby and I, this is why Donut Day is on Tuesday, January 2nd, rather than on Monday, January 1st. But we went out for our annual yearly family budget meeting. And normally I would be terrified because finances are very hard for my brain to process. Now, I do a lot of it with FBS, and I do actually do a fair amount with my family because I keep track of, some portions of my income or whatever. And anyway, so my brain can't handle that. My husband's brain can handle a whole lot more, and he does most of the finances. But it's really good to just convene once a year and talk through it and make a new budget, which is what we did. And God was good. It was a delightful time. Just the fact that we could go out on a date and not walk away enemies. No, it was a good time. In fact, we were there for so long that the lady at the restaurant said, "Are you guys going to spend the night here?" We were there for probably 3.5 hours, but it was a very sweet spirit. And God, of course, it's a time to rejoice in all that God has provided for our family, and even just the outlook on the year ahead. So we're thankful. I have been back to walking. I'm loving it. I need it so bad. And the weather here in Wisconsin has been unbelievably beautiful. It is. I've literally thought to myself, is winter even going to come this year? And frankly, I wouldn't mind if it didn't. Snow has a beauty all its own, and so it's coming, and that will be awesome. But I have very much enjoyed the warmer weather. On that note, I don't know if you can tell, but my lips, I am not trying to make a fashion statement with all of this gloss. I'm having issues. Like, issues. I look like I've eaten a very crumbly sugar cookie all the time because they are crusting, and I've never dealt with this before. I mean, literally, like, there's cracking going on here. I have an amazing friend from church who has literally given me, now where'd they go? She keeps giving me these lip things. Like, all of these are gifts from my one friend at church, and I am so appreciative. They're amazing. At the very minimum, they make my lips feel like tolerably nice when they are so unbelievably dry. And I looked it up on Google, and it's a condition. Like, I have a condition, friends, but I'm not really sure how to solve it. And I've tried almost everything. I've tried all 4 of these. I have tried, they're Clarins is the brand. Clarins, can you see that? Clarins. This one is especially great. I've also tried Vaseline. I've tried my heavy duty, like, literal medicine that I have for other, like, dry issues on my forehead or whatever. Nothing seems to be working. So if you have a solution, please message me. I need help. So there's that. That was a little more than maybe what you bargained for. But I'm trying so hard to trim down this January. I don't really know how to make this work. I've tried so hard. I mean, turning 41, I don't know how to lose weight, people. I do not know how. If you have any tricks in your bag, do share. Do share. Look at this. I'm eating and talking at the same time. That is anathema in my house. It is so hard. I'm hoping that maybe in my 4th or 5th decade, I will be able to nail that one down. But anyway, if you have tricks, you middle agers out there, let me know. Actually, I'm making some progress. I'm trying to trim down just so that every tour doesn't put on an additional 2 or 3 pounds. I just don't want to think about the end game to that one. So I've actually been having success, and my my diets have always included dessert or my donut days. I have never ever chopped those out of my life. That's just a non-negotiable. Let's put it that way. Oh, and I gotta tell you this too. I've started a new thing. This might seem like ABCs to you, and frankly, it is. The ABCs of the Christian life is reading the Bible and praying, right? And so I've started a new routine to literally set my timer for 10 minutes and meditate on scripture. I don't care where in scripture it is, but wherever the Lord leads me that night, I just sit there, I set my timer, and I just try and think about that passage of scripture. That sounds so elementary, but it has been so good. And actually, I was asking the Lord, what do you want me to do for my personal devotions this upcoming year? Please lead me clearly, because sometimes I feel very directionless. And I felt like the Lord said, you're having success with this meditation thing, and I know that it's been helping you, and so I want you to do that. That's what I'm going to do. That is my plan. I'm not going to make a big, ambitious reading through the Bible plan this year. I want the Bible to settle in. And so I'm going to try that. If you have not tried that, or if you have passages of scripture that you would encourage me to do, send them my way. A little bit of kindnesses that God brought in our lives. I'm looking at the time here. We're at 11 minutes. I'm going to need to talk fast. But hey, like I said, I'm trying not to feel constrained by time. Costco is literally in walking distance of my house. My husband actually walked there a few weeks ago. He loves Costco. He's from Kirkland, Washington, where I'm not sure all the history of that, but something originated with Costco in Kirkland, Washington, hence the Kirkland brand that you find at Costco. And some of you are probably out there, you're already part of the Costco cult. We are joining, and we have loved it. And just kidding, we're not, that's what they call it, the Costco cult, right? We actually even decided, this is a fabulous idea my husband had, we were going to take all 6 of us in our family and literally blow all of our Christmas money. Actually, we didn't blow all of it. We had a limit. We had a ceiling. But we're like, this is where we're going to spend the money that was given to us by, a family. And so we did. And it was exhausting because I think it took 2 hours. But I mostly got groceries and necessities, which is totally fine. I don't need anything, people. I've got all that I need. And I got to mention this too. We went out shopping the other day, my husband and I, and one of my favorite things is to find meat deals. We found an amazing meat deal at Costco, and they were huge. I know you can't even see. This would not be accurate. This is what the pork loins we found at Aldi the other day. Double that or even triple that. These huge logs of pork loin we found at Costco on major sale. My freezer was getting empty, and I was actually thinking, and I might have even prayed, Lord, please fill my freezer. Boy, howdy, did he fill it. We bought a bunch of those. We found other deals at Aldi. And then last night, we got news that a sweet couple was going to give us 1/4 of a cow. Blow me away. My freezer's going to be so full with God's blessings. I just have to say that. Okay, before I get way too long here, I wanted to give you a campaign update. So I was going to wait until the 5th or the 6th. I'm making this video on the 2nd because I'm just going to assume that all monies have come in. So as of today, out of a $41,000 campaign goal, we are currently at $33,895. $33,895. And that puts us at 83%. We have another pledge check for $500 coming in, which will put us to 84%. And lest you think Heather is disappointed in that, you have got another thing coming. I am unbelievably thrilled. My dad mentioned in his very, more ambitious campaign than they had ever had at the nonprofit he works at, a goal of 1.5 million. And I remember him saying at the banquet, he said, I would rather overshoot and not make it than undershoot and have our goal too low. And so he encouraged me to set a high goal. And so I took his advice, and 41,000 was a high goal. We had reasons for that number, of course, when we crunched all the numbers. But the biggest deal is that my whole heart in this campaign was so that we could, in God's will and in God's leading, follow through with this marketing endeavor. And I am so excited to tell you that we are planning on pulling the trigger, and that is nothing short of a miracle. When I heard how much it was going to cost us for a 12-month period of time, I honestly, in my mind, I'm like, well, we're out. That's not going to happen. We just don't see that kind of money come in. And yet, And yet here we are. Sorry, I wrote some notes. I want to make sure I'm covering everything. But that was the number one reason it was so ambitious. We have other plans. We want to create music. We want to create music videos, and we have those plans in place. But like I said, last night, literally late at night, I was doing a final number crunch, and just to make sure that everything was on the up and up, that I was, speaking truthfully, and that my mind was in the right spot, and money's going to get, shifted around, and all of this and all of this. And I wanted to make sure. And I literally came down to the wire where we had $111 over what we needed. And that's just a God thing. I don't know how else to explain it. In fact, I had been asking, I don't think I would have even embarked on this kind of a campaign. I really don't think I would have, unless the Lord had given preemptive money, had been leading beforehand, and he did. He brought in money before our campaign, a lot of it, like money we don't normally see come in. And so, all that to say, guys, I'm so excited, and I want to thank every single one of you who contributed. And I know that there's some who could not contribute, but they said they were praying. And you know what? I was praying. All the work that I put in, I don't want to take any credit, because all of it's of God. But, you could say, well, the money that I kind of sought out was a very small portion, compared to, reaching our goal. God brought in just people out of the woodwork. I don't know how else to explain it. But I hope that this marketing endeavor will just increase revenue, but also lessen pressure on me. And the reason I want to increase revenue is not because we need to build this big thing, but it's really to lessen the pressure on me. I've been wearing a lot of hats. I enjoy a lot of what I do, but it gets to be a lot. And sometimes you just want to write music or just rest, or just not be so stressed, or have more balance in life. And so I'm really aiming toward that. Truthfully, I enjoy most every aspect of what I do, but again, just to lessen the pressure on me, I guess. Allow me to travel more strategically, but expand our audience and make our music be a blessing to more people. What I've learned in this campaign, and here we are at about 17 minutes. It's probably going to be a 20-minute video. I'll go fast. What have I learned? I'm tired. I hit a break. I hit a mental breaking point a few weeks ago. Now, there's other factors involved, but I really did. I hit a mental breaking point where I'm like, I need to set aside everything from Forever Be Sure and just live and just be. And so the campaign, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of mental work. And it's not, it is a lot of hands-on work, but it's a lot of mental pressure trying to raise that much money. And I've learned a few things. I actually want to write a song that's called Without All the Worry. I just want to get from point A to B without all the worry, because you know what? If I just look over my shoulder, God has been so faithful in the past, and if He's in it, He'll provide. So why do we work with so much worry and angst? And maybe it's more of a woman thing, maybe it's more of a emotional woman thing like myself. I just want to live life without all the worry. I know that will demonstrate my faith in the Lord, but it's, I guess I've been learning this, and God's been good to take me through this journey again. Another thing I've learned, I have loved connecting with people. That's kind of a weird feeling for me. I'm a doer, I'm a task person. But the phone calls and the emails and the lots of correspondence that I've had with you people has endeared our fans to me. And I hope it's been mutual. And so God has brought some really sweet people across our path and reacquainted us with others, just reconnected us. Another thing I'm learning is to simply ask. I was reading through the New Testament this past year, and I remember I was in some gospel. I don't know if it was Matthew or what it was, or I think it was different portions of Scripture too, different parts of the New Testament, where the phrase and the admonition to just ask whatever you want, not whatever you want, whatever it is. Well, that's kind of the wording. Whatever it is, just ask, and I will give it. And of course, we know there's stipulations on that. This doesn't mean God is in any way obligated to give me what I want, but He longs for me to ask. And asking demonstrates faith. says, Lord, I have nowhere else to turn. And I have said words like that recently. Lord, I literally have nowhere else to turn but to you, to ask for this money for a campaign or whatever. And so taking that step, to take that step of enduring faith, and in the midst of huge obstacles, to keep asking. And I know that honors God, especially and really only if my desires are to promote him. Now, if it's just, Lord, I want a nicer car, or Lord, I want this or that, really to consume it upon my own lusts, he's not interested in those prayers, but he's interested in his glory. And so if we ask for things that we're doing that would promote his glory, he wants to hear that. Of course, he still has a right. He's going to be God and do the right thing and the best thing. But I'm also intrigued at how God has led me, and I already mentioned this, that he's nudged me along each step of the way. I don't know that I would take another step until the Lord has, just literally, I feel literally like the Lord has just paved the way. And, I know life is not always like that, but I have been so thankful for how he's done that recently. Okay, going fast. Blah, blah, blah. Going forward, please pray. Please pray that this marketing thing will be productive. And of course, we're going to monitor it closely. And we're not interested at all. I'm not interested at all in dumping money into something that's not productive. Not in the least. This is God's money, God's work. And so, but pray that God will put his fullest blessing on the sprinkling and the spreading of our music. And recording and filming, we're going to do some of that this year, Lord willing. And even I'm starting to make plans for that. I'm looking for a better solution this time around. This is about our 11th CD I think it is about number 11. The first 3 we don't sell anymore. So it would be, the 9th in our collection. And so we've been around the block a few times, and the last time hit some rough patches, and I'm just really praying that the Lord will help me find some things, more of a permanent solution, something that works well, I guess. And there's reasons for that. Another little snippet, my digital piano, I don't know that I'm going to be able to play my piano accompaniments on my digital piano anymore like I've done for years, ever since we began. I hit a little glitch with that, and I'm disappointed, and yet part of me's not disappointed because I literally loathe playing on digital pianos. But it's what's worked for us. I would far rather be in a studio with a piano, but I will either need to find one locally or wait to do that in a studio when we do all of our vocals and everything. So, okay, time is ticking. I'm still writing songs. We got some cool initiatives already in the work, including some greeting cards. I won't say more than that. We still have our sprinkle kits online, but maybe for the next blog or in some future emails, I'll give you a few more details on that. And lastly, now that we're at 23 minutes and 7 seconds, I just want to share some of my favorite things. This won't take long. Besides the obvious, donuts with sprinkles. Besides the obvious, those are probably really far up the list. Sour bread dough at Hy-Vee. Have you guys ever had it? You need to try it. That's my new fave. This Clarins lip junk. Also, one of my favorite things. Canva, the online art program. The more I use it, the more I love it, and the more I'm making the greeting cards on that program. Canva, if you're doing graphics or whatever, even if you're not like professional and doing it all the time, it is amazing. I also love Hoopla. If you listen to audiobooks, I use my Hoopla almost every single day. I am so thankful for all the books I've been able to listen to that way. Kitchen rags. I've already mentioned this before, but my friend Jo, who is she's currently on hospice, but before she went into the nursing home, she made me 10 of beautiful kitchen rags. I am set for life. Pray for my friend Jo. She is likely going to meet Jesus soon, but anyway, love her kitchen rags and some of the other ones that I already had. I love my car wash membership. I don't know about you. If you're in the Midwest and you literally, one of the things you hate the most is rusty cars, which thankfully we don't have yet. We've had rusty cars, but I really hope ours don't rust. And so car wash memberships, those are amazing. Extra spearmint gum. People. There we go. That gum literally keeps its flavor for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I love it. Decaf French press coffee. Another one of my favorite things. Got my coffee here this morning. Out of this world meat deals, because I hate to shop for meat, and the Lord's been so good to fill up my freezer recently. And lastly, one of my favorite things, I hope it becomes my favorite thing, I was amazed at this huge thing of dog food that I found at Costco. My dog is 5 pounds, and she does not eat a lot, but this is going to save me some money. So I'm really hoping it's my dog's favorite thing too, because she needs to go through a lot of dog food. Okay, it's 25 minutes. I gotta wrap this up. Thanks for hanging on for as long as you have. I will try and keep these vlogs maybe a little shorter next time, but I had a lot to say. I had a lot to share with you. It had been a while, and I wanted to give you a full campaign update. God is so good. I was just overwhelmed with that thought yesterday, and even just recently thinking about what he's provided for our campaign. So thank you. Thank the Lord. Give him the glory, and we'll look to him to pave the way in the next few weeks and months as we embark. All right, have a happy new year. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.